What's up, guys? So it's a different kind of video I'm making, but I just want to talk about my life, more specifically the feeling of feeling behind in life, right? And I've been very stressed lately about just, where I'm going, where I'm headed, the life I live, what I want to achieve, what I want to do with my life. And I just kind of wanted to put that out there on YouTube, but then also kind of go over that it's okay to not feel like you're in the spot you should be in. And I mean that because I don't have my life figured out. I'm 22 years old. I graduated college last summer. I work 2 part-time jobs and do my coaching on the side. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be or what I feel like I should be accomplishing at my age. And at 22, or when I was in high school, I thought I would have a lot of stuff figured out by now, but I just don't. And I think what really makes it worse is just the presence of social media, the consumption of social media, the comparison on social media. Because every time you open your phone, you see someone the same age as you or younger than you that's making more money, starting a business, having a more successful business, traveling all over the world, or doing all this crazy stuff. And it makes you feel like you're behind, or that you're doing something wrong at your age. And I find myself doing that all the time. Even though I'm trying to be more self-aware of it, I find myself comparing myself to people online who I don't even know. And I think the biggest frustration is that I am trying, right? I'm not lazy, I'm not unemployed, I don't sit on my butt all day. I'm working 24/7. The times that I'm not working at a job, I'm trying to edit a video or post content to grind my social media. I work out 6 days a week, I'm disciplined, and I try to better myself every single day. But I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and it kind of changed my perspective, because comparison is the thief of joy, right? We've all heard that before. And I feel like there's no universal timeline for life, right? Everyone experiences different things at a different point in time. Everyone will be successful at a different point in time. And the biggest thing too is no one has it figured out. They just post online like they do. So I think it's important to break the habit of thinking you're behind, or just breaking the mindset of that you're behind. And the truth is, you're not behind. You're just comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. You're not seeing everything it took them to get where they are. You're just seeing the success that they have now. You're not seeing the failures. You're not seeing the trials and errors. You're not seeing the work, the dedication, the sleepless nights of failure, of, trying to build something when they don't know where to start. You're not seeing any of that on social media when someone's actually successful. You're not seeing the doubts. You're only seeing the results of the success that they've achieved and earned. And I think that's something that I'm learning now, is just personal growth and accountability. And I think I had to check myself on that and kind of take a step back and just look at my life in a different lens, and truly just understand and grasp on how far I've really came, how much self-discipline I've built, how much I've grown through the years, and then just all the little things day in and day out that I do, setting myself up for a successful, happy, amazing future. And I think the biggest thing is too that I'm trying to build something myself. I'm trying to build my own business, my own coaching business. I'm trying to grow my social medias. I'm trying to really go crazy on YouTube while still working, jobs at the gym, at the PT clinic, looking for other jobs to make more money, but just continuing to perfect my craft day in and day out. And I think a lot of us don't focus on how far we've came, but we focus on where we're not at. And that can take a lot of the joy out of the daily grind and, just how far you've come, because you're continuing to trying to think of what more you can do, which is okay, right? We always want to strive for greater heights, but it's important to also look at how far you've come and see yourself, like how would yourself 2 years ago or last year look at you now, or 5 years ago, right? And it's important to realize that everything takes time. Anything meaningful, anything important, anything real will take time. And this generation, the generation we live in now, it's so normalized to think that everything has to happen so fast, right? That success has to happen so fast. And that's just not the case. Everyone thinks you need fast results, fast progress, fast success. But real success just doesn't work like that. And it's slow, and it's boring, and it's built on the days that you're thinking you're not doing a lot. It's just the boring work that you do every single day that really doesn't look like a whole lot. But in the grand scheme of things, that stuff piles on each other, right? And it grows over time exponentially. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of reassure myself, but also connect and reassure anyone who's also in the same boat out there, because I feel like a lot of people my age aren't where they want to be, or think like they not necessarily deserve more, but want to achieve more at the age they're at. And you just have to remind yourself that you're so young still, right? You're not supposed to have everything figured out. You are still a kid, pretty much, right? You're an adult in a sense, but you're still so young. If you're watching this and you feel like you're lost, and if you feel like you don't have everything figured out, that's okay. You're not supposed to have everything figured out, especially in your early 20s or even late 20s. Even if you're 30, right? You're learning, you're building, you're becoming something. So I think it's important to stop rushing your life, because truly all we have is today, is the present moment in front of us. So I think it's important to stop rushing life, right? It's so important to understand that all we truly have is what's in the present moment, what is in front of us in this current moment of time, right? And I feel like I am so guilty of this, because I spend so much of my time overthinking or anxious about the future or stressing about the future, that I find myself not focusing on the present moment and always focusing on something in the future that I, might not even happen or will happen. But I'm just not in the present, right? And I think I struggle with this so much too, because I'm just not in the present moment, even though I should be, right? Even though I should be enjoying the moment I am living right now, because tomorrow's not promised, but more so that all we have is what's right in front of us today in this exact moment of time. If you're watching this, stop putting so much pressure on yourself to have everything figured out right now, right? Because the truth is, you're exactly where you need to be in this current moment. You need to keep going, you need to keep at it, and that's really it, right? So just remember that you don't have to have everything figured out. You shouldn't have everything figured out. And it's important to not compare yourself to people you see online, on social media, but it's important to take a step back, be more cognizant and self-aware of where you are at in your current life, and just recognize how far you've come. Recognize, the route you're taking, the route you're going, the habits you're doing every single day to kind of get you where you want to go. But always remember to live in the present and realize that God put you where you are for a reason, and that there are bigger plans for you in the future, but you just got to be patient. God favors the ones who are patient. So just learn to be patient, right? Myself included. But just don't be so stressed about the future, about where you're at or where you're headed. Just focus day in and day out of what you need to do to be the best version of yourself. So take that with a grain of salt. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy your week. God bless you all. And I hope this helped at least one person, but have a good night, y'all.